Good morning students. Once again welcome back to C++ class. Today's class I will explain you about function overloading and passing array as a parameters to a function. Okay, first we will complete overloading a function. See, overloading a function is overloading means what? In a class, example, this is a class. Okay. In the class we have a functions. Example, this is a public access specifier. Here int a int x. Example, this is a one function. This is already I have explained. Function return type, name of the function and the parameters. Okay. Example, in the same class, if the user is creating or there is a requirement of same function twice. Okay, I am creating a same function means with the same name I am creating a more than one function. Okay, understood? Here in this one class I am creating two functions. Example, two functions or three functions, four functions. In the same class I am creating more than one function with the same name, but the parameters are different. Then that is called as a overloading a function. See example, we have a class. Just generally we will take our classroom. In the classroom there are two students, and that two students are having the same name, like Sai. But how will you identify? You will identify at least with the hall ticket number or with the initial. Okay, so the same concept we are applying in the program. In the same program we are creating more than one function with the same name. Okay, in the same class we are creating more than one function with the same name. Then you may get a question that how can you differentiate the function? If the function is having a same name, when you will call the function, at that time you may get some errors, right? So that when in the class, if the class is having a more than one function with the same name, then you can identify, you can call the function with the different parameters. So in the class, more than one function can have the same name, but the parameters should be different. So if the parameters are different, then easily you can call the function without any error. Example, here int a in the bracket. Here how many parameters we have? Only one parameter. Again we have a same function int a. Here we have int x, int y. So with the help of the parameters, you can differentiate the function. Whether you are calling the first function or whether you are calling the second function. So with the help of the parameters, we can differentiate. Okay, at the time of calling, if you are passing only one value, this function will be executed. At the time of calling, if you are passing the two values, this function will be executed. Okay, so in the same class, you can have more than one function with the same name, but the parameters should be different. Okay, when the parameters are different, then you can pass a different values to a function. So this is a function overloading concept. So in a class, if a class is having more than one function with the same name and different parameters, then that concept is called as a function overloading. Okay, so this example, you can firstly take a screenshot of this. Now here I will give you the example program. See, in the beginning you can see here will be hash include IOS. Okay, and the file including. Next, using namespace st. Now here function prototype I am giving. Example, int display is the name of the function and it's taking only one parameter. Now same int display, same function you can see here, display. So both the functions are are having a same name, but here I am giving a different parameters. You can see int y comma int z, two parameters. Okay, now come to the main function, int main. Right. So here in the main function I am declaring two variables, int x equals to 10, y equals to 20. Okay, x equals to 10, y equals to 20. Now, see out display 10, or you can give x. Now, see out display y comma, sorry, x comma y. Return the same. It's a simple function. Okay, so here you can see it is a library. I was doing very important. Namespace std. Here we are including that library file. Now, how many user functions we have here? Display. It is a one function and it is a two function. Here these two functions are having the same name. Okay, so this concept is called as overloading. Only in the same program we have two functions which is the same. What is the difference between the first function and second function here? Here we are using the first parameter and here we are using the two parameters. That is the difference. Now come to the main function. In the main function, int x equals to 10, y equals to 20. Two variables I have declared. Right? Now, see out display x. So here how many parameters are there? Only one parameter. In first function here x. So when control comes to this line, we'll see the body of this function. Int display. Okay, display how many parameters are there? Yes. Now see out or return x. We are just displaying example. Okay, what output you will get? 10 you will get. Okay, so this number of parameters when you are calling a function, this parameter and this parameters are compared. So whichever function matching with the given parameter, only that function will be executed. Now this function over, next one more function, int display int x comma int y. So here how many parameters are there? Two parameters are there. Two parameters there means this function is executed. Now here return x plus y. Oh. Clear? So functions are same, parameters are different. So this process, this type of means giving a more than one function the same name you can use in C++. But how will you differentiate? Using the parameters. So when you call the function, if you are calling a function with only the one parameter, this function will be executed. If you are calling a function with the two parameters, this function will be executed. So in the same program, more than one function is having the same name, okay, but different parameters. So this procedure is called as a function overloading. So what is a function overloading? In the same class, in the same program, more than one function can have the same name, but the parameters should be different. So if the parameters based on the, means when you are calling the function, it will match the parameters. So here I am calling a function with the two parameters. So compiler will see the same function with the two parameters only. So this parameters, it will compare. If these two are matching, then this will be executed. This is matching, this will be executed. So when you are calling, example, I am calling only this. Okay, I am calling only this. Then which function will be executed? So when the class is having more than one function with the same name, then first compiler what will check? It will check the parameters. So here we have only one parameter. So it will check this is the same function, this is the same function. Next it will check the parameter. So here we have the main function is giving only one parameter, and here also we have only one parameter. block will be executed and the remaining will be skipped. So when more than one function is having the same name, then what compiler will check? The number of parameters. Okay, so like this in the same program you can give more than one function with the same name, but whatever parameters are there, that parameters should be different. Okay, you take screenshot of this. Now we'll discuss about passing array as a parameter. Okay, passing array as a parameter to a function. So here, see example. What is an array? Array is like a variable only. But in array, what we do, instead of the single value, using the element, we store the multiple values. Example, x equals to 10. What is x here? It is a variable. Okay. So, it is a variable and in the memory, you will get a block. That block name is x. In that block, what will store? 10. It is a variable. Now, if it is an array, what happens? Range x. Example 5. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. So it is also variable. But how many elements it is storing? How many values it is storing? 5. So total memory will give the 10 bytes of memory. That 10 bytes of memory is divided into 5 blocks. First block x0, the second one x1, the third one is x2, fourth one is x3, and the fifth one is x4. Okay, for this what example I have given in the class, it is for apartment and this for independent. Independent house means only one family and one household. So in apartment means apartment name is same, only the flat numbers are different. That example already I have explained in the class. So here in the array we can store more than one value with the same name. And when you declare an array, what happens? Contiguous blocks are allocated to that variable. See, if it is x equals to 10, y equals to 20, what happened? Wherever a memory block is free, that will be allocated to that variable. But if you have declared array, then what happened? If you have a 5 elements, 5 contiguous blocks are allocated to that variable. So means all the values are stored in a single place. So when all the values are stored in a single place, then what happened? It is very easy to search and it is very easy to access. Okay, so this is a array representation. So actually why we are discussing this concept in the function. Still now whatever functions we executed, whenever we call the function, we passed only the values, single value. But in our concept, actually the functions constantly have concept, right? Passing array to a function as an array. Okay, so like the previous example what I have given, like display function I have called now, display function example. Okay, so this is a function, just only the variable I have to call. Means, only the variable I have to call. Means I have given variable as a single variable as a parameter. But in this program, what you have to do is, instead of the variable, you need to pass array as a parameter. For example, I will give you an example program so that you will come to know. Directly from the main function I am doing int main and example int x equals to 20. It is a variable. Now I am calling one function y equals to display and x. So this is the function. So for this function, what I am passing? I am passing only the single value, single variable as a parameter. Okay. So example, if you have like this, y equals to y, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then here, what we do is, instead of the simple variable, we'll pass y, 5 as a parameter. So this is the concept. Okay, instead of passing the single value to a single value to a function as a parameter, here what we will pass an array as a parameter to a function. Till now we executed function with only single value, 2 value, 3 value. Now just you need to pass the array. What is an array? Array is a collection of elements of same data type. No? So we are sending an array as a parameter to a function. Now how to declare an array? How to pass that array to array as a parameter to a function? That we'll discuss. Okay. I will give you the syntax now. Here, first I will explain how to declare an array. Then I will explain how to pass that array to a user-defined function. See, first hash include string. Next using namespace std. Now here I will create a user-defined function. No? So I am creating user-defined function. So I am declaring here int display. Okay. Int display. Why I am giving int display, or the better it will become void display. Void display. Here till now in our prototype, just we have given on the single variable. Now here what we do is we will give m1 or m5. This is a function prototype. Function prototype means what actually? We will declare a user-defined function. Till now x, y like that I have given. No? Now what I have given? I have given an array. Okay, array means what? More than one element. Till now whatever programs I have explained that are based on a single variable. Now in this program I will explain an array and the size of the array is 5. Means that array is holding 5 elements. Now after this I will give you the main function. Main. Now here int. I am declaring a array marks 5. See, when you are creating an array in a main function, because this array we are passing to this. So when you are declaring an array in the main function, this size should be same, because we are passing this to this one. So when you are passing to the user-defined function or some value from the main function, the values in the main function and the size of the main function, the size of the variable in the main function, and the size of the parameters should be same. Now 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now array is done. Okay. So in the array elements we have 5 elements. This size, this number of elements should be same. And an array index starts from a 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The last element will be length minus 1. Now we'll pass this array to this function. Right. Now, here just what I am doing is I am displaying this void display. Okay. Display, and it is the name of the function. Right. Void display. Just marks. Okay. Just we are passing an array as parameter to that function, or directly size or data directly. This is called as a function call. So till now we passed only the variable, no? Only one value we used to pass. Now here what we are passing? We are passing an array. Array means what? More than 1. Now after this, what I am doing is just I am closing this here. I am doing it now. Now this is only the main function. Now user-defined function is there. No, that what we are doing in the user-defined function, that I will explain. So this is a function calling. This is the function prototype, and this is the actual parameter. We are passing this to the form. So here void is a user-defined function. Display. Void display. In the display function, what we passed marks. So what is the size of this? 5. So 8 m5. Right. This is a function body. Okay, that is a function body. you can see function body. Now in the function body, what you are doing? See the function what you are writing this in the function body. What we are doing is I am printing the elements, whatever elements are there in the array, only that elements I am printing. So here instead of printing a one element at a time, here I will use the for loop to print all the elements at a time. So here for array index start from a 0, I equals to 0, I less than or equals to 4, because array index will start from a 0, the last element will be length minus 1. Next I plus. Okay, you can see the for loop. Using the for loop you can print all the elements in the array at a time. Now this is a block, so you should be like this. Now see out I. Right, so this is a concept actually. Passing array as a parameter. We are passing, and instead of the variable what we are passing array as parameter. Right, we are passing array as a parameter. If it is the array as a parameter means what? More than one element we are passing at it. Now, come to the execution. It is a library, it is a header file, it is a library file, and it is a function prototype. Why we are giving a function prototype? Because here we are using a user-defined function. So when you are giving a user-defined function, there is a condition that you should give the prototype, and that prototype should be before the main function. This number of times I have already explained. Now come to the main function. Why we are coming to the main function here? Main function is very important. Here program execution starts from the main function. So in the main function I have declared one array, 8 marks. What is the array? It is an array, and it is a formal parameter, because in the main function whatever variable we are passing from the main function, that are called as a formal parameters. Marks, and what is the size of that? 5. Size is 5 means how many elements should be there? 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now display. What is the next line here? Display marks. What is the display here? Display is a user-defined function. So directly control comes from this point to this point. Display, next marks, and this end file. I think you can see the code. Just a minute. Now control coming from this line to this line of display. Here I have given array as a parameter. This is called as a formal parameter, as an actual parameter. Actual parameters. So from this parameter is replaced in m of 5. So this is an array and this is an array. Size of this marks, size is a 5, and here also m size is a 5. So it is matching. So when it is matching, you won't get any error. Now come to the function body. Right, in the function body what I have given? I have given the for loop. I equals to 0, I less than or equals to 4, I plus plus. I equals to 0 means array index starts from a 0. This is a marks 0, this is a marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, marks 4. Right, so starting first element, I equals to 0. Right, it is the initialization. 0 less than or equals to 4. Condition is true. If the condition is true, this part will be executed. What is this part? 10. 10 is printed. Now, after printing this, I is incremented. Now, what is I value? 1. 1 less than 4. Condition is true. Condition is true. Again, this is printed. What is the second value? 2. Again, I is incremented. Now, what is I value? 2. 2 less than 4. Condition is true. 2 is printed. A of 2 is 30. Now, I is incremented. Now, what is I value? 3. 3 less than or equals to 4. Condition is true. A of 3 will be printed. That is a 40. Now, again I is incremented. Now, what is I value? 4. 4 less than or equals to 4. Condition is true. That is printed. That is. Now, again I is incremented. Now, what is I value? 5. 5 less than or equals to 4. Condition false. Then this will be, which control comes out of this part. So, user-defined function execution is. So, when the user-defined function execution is over, control comes out of this part and it will come to this part. Right. Now, when control comes to this line, line, no? Immediately control jumps to this line, you can see. Because the user-defined function execution is over. So when the user-defined function execution is over, immediately control comes from that line to, means it will jump from that line to this line. So here the thing is only you need to remember is, instead of the single value here, we are passing array as a parameter. Means more than one element we are passing as a argument to a function. So this is our concept. So in the next class, I will explain a OOPS concept that is very, very important. You can expect one question in the exam. That's very, very